Hello, adventurers! My name is Bunny Dreadful, and I will not be your dungeon master for the evening. I'd like to welcome you all to a very special episode of Casters and Cantrips titled The City of Terror. I am joined tonight with some very special guests. I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you. So first up, we have our dungeon master for the evening, John Hegner.
Hello, adventurers. I will be your dungeon master this evening. I hope you survive. Otherwise, it'll be a short stream.
First up, we've got Shadow Temple. If you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi. Yeah, I'm Shadow Temple. I am a streamer, YouTuber, voice actor, man. Yeah, all those things rolled into one, and I'm happy to be here.
Next, I have Captain Robert, who needs no introduction.
Ahoy, everybody! Captain Robert, fellow D&D creator on the internet, expat tavern owner. Happy to be here in a very rare occurrence where I have some time off to play a PC. So thank you. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Max. Thanks for having me.
And Mac X3D, can you introduce yourself?
Sorry, I was muted. My name is Mac. I am the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. A lot of you know me around Twitch. I lurk a lot of streams that use our maps, and I also stream here weekly.
Awesome. We're so happy to have you here. Next, Naomi.
Hello, I'm Naomi, longtime streamer, variety caster, do a lot of stuff on the internet, and love roleplay. Really happy to be here.
And you all know this face, Virtual Spectre, one of our regulars here for the one shot.
Yeah, that's me. Hi. Some of you know me. If you don't, I'm VS. I sometimes do variety gaming content here on Twitch. Currently doing Octopath and some other stuff. So if you enjoy that stuff, feel free to check me out when I'm doing that stuff. Otherwise, I'm on Casters and Cantrips doing D&D stuff with these guys.
And last is just me, Bunny Dreadful. I do art streams here on the Casters and Cantrips channel. So if you want to see some art, make sure to follow us for that too. But since we've met everyone, let's go ahead and do a couple of announcements. We've got some very important dates coming up for Casters and Cantrips. So first coming up, we've got on March 31st, Ron's Dreamy One Shot. I don't know what that's going to entail, but I know you're not going to want to miss it. April 7th, we have Out of Combat Live. This is the wrap up for Campaign 1. So any questions that you have for anything that happened in Campaign 1, that's the time to be there. Come ask us questions, watch us talk about our saddest moments, favorite moments, what have you. And April 21st is the beginning of Campaign 2. So make sure to mark your calendars, follow, like, all those things so you get notifications. And don't forget, we also have Max and Moobs every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for Tome of Knowledge. And that's where they answer D&D questions. They talk about stuff. They argue with chat, talk about why Paladins are the best class ever, you name it. So make sure to check back for all that content. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. Sorry, Max. I'm going to hand it over to John for tonight's episode of Casters and Cantrips.
Yay! Alrighty. So, our story begins in the city of Aesgarth, the city of cliffs. It is the northernmost jewel of the Vantas Empire. It is a place of knowledge, a place of trade, for it sits on the sea connecting to the inland seas, all the way to Ramcrown and out into the open of the world. Once part of a mightier empire, it has rejoined Vantas under the leadership of the King of Falshir. But none of these geopolitical, mercantile worries are part of our story tonight. No, our story is about screams and blood and death. Our story is about the death of a city. Or perhaps its saving. For the streets of Aesgarth, as the sun dips low below the ocean and the clouds, colored purple and surrounded by the ruddy glow of the sun's death, also glow with fire and screams and terror as the people of Aesgarth are consumed by fiends from beyond this world. In a city square somewhere in the city, bodies are piled on top of each other, struggling to escape from the bulk and mass of those who have been killed above them and fallen on them in the panic to escape from the city's walls, designed to protect them from attack, not trap them in their own home. Their assailants, indescribable, creatures from beyond this realm, pitiless black pits for eyes, some burned with coals, but all are known as demons. And from whence they came, none were aware. None save a few brave heroes who, despite, or perhaps because of the peril, have decided they're going to do the right thing and try to put an end to this at its source. As the demons and bodies grow in number in the city square, a small spark of blue dances through the air. The demons don't notice this. The few living, huddling amongst the bodies, some hiding, hoping that they are passed by, don't notice it either. But as the sparks grow and some seem to linger in place, forming eldritch runes, a gate rips open in the air of this city center. And I would like you each to roll initiative.
Oh, we're starting. Okay.
Right in. All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's see.
See.
Initiative -1. What did I do?
That's not. Okay.
All right. I am going to ask for initiative from each of you in turn. Bryn, the Broken.
11.
Let's see.
Oh, sorry. You wanted that in turn. My bad. I was just checking to see if that worked.
Soul Callous.
That would be 17.
Scarf.
Let's see. That's 18. Not 20. 24.
Dillard Cobblerpot.
17.
We have a swift party here. Mytok Andrea.
18.
Last but not least, Yil Norin.
21.
Alrighty. The first creature emerging from this portal. Scarf, would you describe yourself as you leap forth into a sea of combatants?
Yeah, you see a little rat folk guy, a little scrawny little rat man with a big trench coat covered in lots of devices and two sets of glasses. You're not sure what they're for. And he immediately looks around and panics and hides immediately,
Okay.
the best he can behind the combatants. And he's wielding like a giant wrench, as if it was a wand, as if he was about to start firing it at people.
As you leap out, your instincts take over. Way too many things for you to deal with. You look over your shoulder for a moment as if expecting something, and then the fear abates as what you were waiting for arrives. A tiny ruby red bead comes drifting through the portal in slow motion because your adrenaline has spiked, lands about 30 feet away from you, and blossoms into a mushroom cloud of fire and smoke. Bodies and flesh, you're guessing, go flying in all directions, blasting past you. leaving a massive crater and a huge stunned crowd of gibbering, flesh-shifting demons who have no idea what's about to happen to them. Scarf, as you take cover, another figure emerges from the portal behind you. Yil, would you like to describe how you enter this fray from this magic portal?
In this short figure in a flash of brown and gold, her long hair flowing behind her as she kind of goes into a combat role and looks around. She's covered in brown studded leather that's got red accents on it. She has a bit of a cape flowing behind her and two red blades clutched in her hands, twin blades, and she rolls and looks around and stands at the ready.
Alrighty. As you come up to your feet, one of these gibbering creatures, it looks like your mother, maybe your father. You can't tell. The thought drifts past your mind, and then it doesn't look like either of them. It just looks like a shifting mass of flesh about the size of a halfling. Scrambles at you on limbs that are much too small to carry its bulk and flings itself at you. What do you do?
Oh, she's gonna duck and try to slash at it as it goes by.
Okay. You cut it in half as it leaps past its indescribably wretched flesh, ripping apart and then incinerating like burning newspaper, as all that is left is a shriek and smoke. Through that smoke emerges Mitochondria from the portal. Would you like to describe your entrance?
As I emerge from the portal, a heavy, what appears like a dust cloud surrounds me. I look around the fray. I am about 7 feet tall, green and dark in complexion, and covered in tattered rags and just basic leather armor. I have no idea what I'm doing or where I'm at because I was just in the forest alone, minding my own business. So this is quite interesting to me.
Okay. In your mind, Mitoch, is a familiar voice that says, "We are closer now." Good.
You again? I told you to leave me alone.
We're in this together for the long haul.
I only call you head honcho as a joke, you know.
Does that mean you're in charge?
I like to think so.
Then we'll leave it at that. As this, describe Mitoch. He's tall, but is there anything else about him
As
that
I
might
said,
be
he's
notable?
Sorry, I really, without saying too much, I apologize. He is large and green and black. He kind of looks strange to most people in this land. As you know, he's not a very common sight. He's a plasmoid, if you're wondering, just to break character there for a second. I basically look like a walking, talking bacteria colony.
Nice.
But he's our bacteria colony.
Alrighty. As the camera lingers on the strange form of Mitochondria compared to his companions, Soul Callus emerges from this portal.
Yes. So out of character description here. You see carefully stepping through, aiming down the sights of a very advanced looking crossbow, a Shadar Kai elf whose roughly 5'10", 5'11" in stature, slender athletic build, wearing very nice gray leathers with a bit of red accenting. He's got some stubble. Looks like he's maybe been traveling for a while. Notably, he has a large X-shaped scar on his bald forehead. And he's eyeballing everything as he comes through, aiming at it with the crossbow, senses alert, ready to go.
As you sweep the crossbow across the battlefield, you sense through it, as you have many times before, absolute anathema to life, absolute disdain for you and any that draw breath here, remorseless glee in the murder of innocents. But here and there, amongst the bodies, you can sense gaps in that absolute miasma of hatred around here. Those gaps also dwindle over your companions as your crossbow glides near them, telling you a little bit about their nature. You feel you can trust these individuals to see through this mission. Dillard Cobblerpot, emerging from this portal.
You see, Dan, that's what I told him. Wrecked them, damn near killed them.
There's a smoking crater before you and bodies strewn everywhere.
Oh, God. As he clutches his pearls, you can take upon his Joel Osteen drip, that blonde, fresh, platinum perma mullet and curls tucked underneath, very ornate copper pot that sits above his head, cocked sideways slightly as it drips down to a very Renaissance ruffles in a French blue striped pattern that goes over underneath a nice corduroy vest that surely his grandmother picked out, that flows down to some velour boots that he has his pants tucked into tightly, very form-fit, slender, and sunken cheekbones. Where am I? As he fixates the copper pot. This is why. Hold tight. It's the apocalypse. We have prepared for this. We have all prepared for this. It's time. God, take me. God, Father, don't stay. Don't stay. I'm not one. I'm surely not the one who's left. I paid far too much money to be one that is paid to be left. Please. He drops to his knees.
Squish.
Oh, God.
Your knees. Your knees drop into what you thought perhaps might have been mud or a puddle, but when it shifts underneath you and you see the remnants of a face attached to whatever ick you have knelt in, you are snapped back into the adrenaline rush that led you here. The portal magic seems to have discombobulated your senses somewhat, but the memory of where you were just moments before is quickly flooding back. And I will give you more information as we go. Looming over you, coming from the portal lastly, is Bryn the Broken.
Yeah. As soon as his entire form makes it out of the portal, he lands face first in the viscera below him, just seemingly completely unaware of where he's landed. He slowly sort of pulls himself back together, lifts himself up, his skeletal hand trying to readjust his worn-out helmet, Looking around, trying to understand where he's found himself. Let's do it again. And he sort of brushes himself off and gets ready for whatever the day brings.
As Bryn gathers his senses about the area and his view passes over the smoldering crater before him left by a fireball spell that had preceded your entrance into this area, you see the assembling mob rising back to its feet of demonic entities, each one of them a face that you recognize only too well. A face that you have sent to the other side. But when you blink, those faces are gone, and instead is perhaps a kinder face, one that you don't have a problem killing. The face of a slavering demon, jaw distending, more eyes than it should have, perhaps forked tongues that end in fingers. Various other grotesqueries emerge from these creatures as they look at you, but at least they aren't the faces you recognize any longer.
He reaches for his hip flask and realizes that it's in someone's face below him and thinks better of it.
So, as the portal magic wears off, you remember not 6 seconds ago, you all were assembled with the plan to go through this portal on a mission. Your mission being that mitochondria had information about someone in the city who knows where these demons are coming from, knows where you can gap this invasion. But they don't know where this person is. And that's where the rest of you come in. Each of you has knowledge of the city and its denizens that could help find this person, that will help find this portal to the lower planes that is causing Aesgarth to be consumed by infernal hellfires. Well, they're demons, so perhaps a worse fate. To be consumed and forgotten in the eternal darkness that is the abyss. If you would like to bring us to the map, please, Max.
What?
Oh, no.
This is bad.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I don't like.
Emerging from the portal behind you is who you now remember, the person who created it. The Archmage of, well, that's quite a high and mighty title, but the Grand Archivist of, 1 second, loading, didn't have my notes ready. The Grand Archivist of the Great Library here in Aesgarth, Aterium, a brass dragonborn, older. His deep blue robe reminds you of the seashore and the waves. But mixed in with it is a red cloak that catches the firelight all too well here. He steps through the arcane gate ceiling behind him and looks about. High up on a building further away, you hear a awful shriek of some greater demon. It echoes across the night sky like some disturbing mockery of a seagull cry. A seagull crying that it has spotted food. He looks to it and you see, silhouetted by the low moon on the horizon, its fetid wings, feathers flitting off of it in its decay, it take flight. And Atarium says, "I will draw them away, you know your mission." And he summons the power of his magic and takes flight up into the air. And as he does so, you see 2 more of these vulture demons rise up from the streets nearby, circle, and zip off after him.
Scarf screams when the first one flies over and hides under Bryn, and then when the wizard takes off, Scarf screams again and then hides under mitochondria.
So, You know, coming through this portal, this was as far as Atarium could bring you, but it's close enough for your goals. Scarf, you know that there is tunnels through the sewers and smuggling tunnels beneath Aesgarth that can get you to the vicinity of the Thieves Guild, a place that Bryn the Broken has been to a handful of times. If you can just get to this entrance in the upper left corner, you can find your way safely there and perhaps lose the pursuit of these untold throngs of fiendish foes.
Scarf knows that that's the way.
That is the way.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm hiding and I'll peek out and be like, there, and point with my wrench. Is the way, we gotta go that way.
All right. And Scarf, you are in initiative.
Oh no,
Lead the
Scarf
way.
does not want to go first. Okay. Scarf is gonna start running this way, and I'm gonna run out maybe like 5 or 10 more feet, and then I'm gonna panic and I'm gonna run back.
Please gain an inspiration.
That's my turn. Oh, I'll take it. Just kidding.
All right. Oh, I need to start the combat. Oh, it has already started. All righty. Let's make sure I don't screw this up. All right. So, Scarf, you run out and then back. Is that all you're doing for your turn?
Oh no, I'll hide.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Hey.
There's plenty of burning debris and masonry that has collapsed from the cathedral behind you.
8. Yeah. I'll hide in some of the debris.
The bricks, as you stack them on you, crumble, breaking into pieces. You
smooth
find
the pieces down.
Yeah.
I'm just like this, pull like a sandcastle. I'm just.
You start digging into hot, charred wood and charcoal of burned whatever building was here.
Ow, burns.
You find your efforts are not to your liking. Yill.
Yill is going to, looking around, look for the path of least resistance and make a run for it. Do we have does it show the distance when you move?
There is a measuring tool on the left.
The
or-
ruler will
just-
help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I believe there is a way. I'm not as familiar with Foundry, but you can also use WASD to move your character
Yeah.
along if you wanted to. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
All right. I'm going to get up to this fiend and running at him, immediately come up with a swing. One of her short swords kind of surrounded in this crackling energy and going to attack with her short sword and booming blade.
Okay.
Now,
What does it look like when you summon the power of your booming blade?
the air around the blade ripples slightly as if there's invisible shockwaves coming off of it, and it comes crashing down with like dropping a large rock into water. This kind of ripple in the air as she strikes.
Like the thrumming of a heartbeat, the heartbeat of a storm giant. You can feel the pulse of this weapon. What'd you get?
Yeah, really quickly. There you go. What do you want me to say? Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
I do not know where that is. Where are you rolling?
I'm-
Oh, you're rolling in the chat.
Foundry.
Got it. Okay.
my character sheet in Foundry is not loaded or anything like that.
Yeah,
So I'm
just
just
roll
using
roll
D&D
dice
Beyond.
and whatever you want, and
Yeah.
then add your stuff up because it's not hooked up.
Yeah, I won't be hooked up to Foundry.
Oh, okay. Well, it is showing up in the Foundry chat for me.
I see it.
Beyond should be linked.
So that was
I am
the
not seeing where the attack roll is, though. That's the thing I'm not seeing.
Yeah, okay. It was a 15 to hit.
Okay,
And then
that will definitely hit.
21 damage. Oh, it automatically rolled sneak attack. And 6 plus 7, so 6 thunder damage from Booming Blade.
Okay. As your blade thrums and beats like the heart of a storm giant, it strikes this creature and it pops like a balloon. But it doesn't gush over you. It literally just flies back and almost evaporates in some way into some black ick that coats the wall behind it like ash. These creatures, as frightening as they are, do not seem to be very robust, but there are many of them.
She prepares herself for the onslaught, not being able to move closer to anything else.
Okay. My talk.
Yes, I'm gonna hurry and just use a bonus action. And why is it not working? I'm gonna cast Shillelagh.
Okay.
Whisper into my staff a little bit. Oops.
Would you like to describe your staff?
My staff is a long piece of wood that is pointy on the bottom, but at the top, as you go up it, there's various fungus and spores and little, just different types of mushrooms and stuff attached to it. And at the top, it's a guy that is just kind of looks withered and dead and necrotic, and it kind of looks like it's mostly just fungus as well. It is my prized possession, and it is the focus of all my power. So I love it. Anyway, so I cast Shillelagh
into it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I whisper my Shillelagh into it. I apologize, and I move up to the side here. Oh gosh, let me grab my character here. There we go. And seeing the chaos surround me on the battle, I finally get a better look at things because I was kind of like in all these flames and whatnot in the center. I realized that there's a lot more guys than I thought, but I'm not going to let that distract me or frighten me. I decide, well, let's see if they can take a chill touch.
Okay. Which one are you aiming at?
Oh, my bad, Let's just go for this one right in front of me here.
Okay.
How do I ping it? That one there. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just click and hold. So it looks like you got... Was that a critical hit?
Looks like it.
Okay. Nice. That is a significant amount of damage there.
There we go.
What does Chill Touch do to this lesser demon spawned from the nightmarish sorrow that is the abyss?
I basically hurl what is essentially a mode of spores, and as it encases him in spores, they start eating away at him and just chewing away at all of his whatever flesh is, or that thin membrane or whatever he is before he pops.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks like basically a dust cloud just kind of enveloping, and when it's gone, there's nothing left.
Yeah, it swells up as the mushrooms consume it like a Jiffy Pop, and then it deflates all of a sudden like a souffle, and there's only a stain left on the streets of Aesgarth, a stain that you worry specifically might not ever be cleansable. I will also add that your height gives you a certain advantage. You notice that there are mixed in with all of these demons the shambling corpses of Aesgarth's citizens, but they haven't turned in your direction. In fact, they seem completely oblivious to you. They seem to be moving almost like a line of ants in some direction towards some far off place in the city.
To clarify, can you click on one of the ones you're talking about?
Yep.
Oh, those guys. Okay.
The bigger ones, the bigger circles?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, they seem singular purpose is to continue shambling forward at a lackadaisical gait. Anything else for your turn?
No, that'll end my turn.
Alrighty. Soul Callus. Seems like a direction may have been chosen by some of your compatriots.
I see. Well, I guess I could provide some Overwatch support. This building, here. Wait, did I ping it? Yeah. About how tall would you say that is?
It's a 2-story building, so it's probably going to be about 20 feet or so to the lip of the roof, and then another 10 to the peak of the roof here.
Upon looking at it, would you say it's structurally sound at this point?
It does look structurally sound. This wall here on the corner might be in trouble. It looks to be blown out on the west side there, or the east side there. So that corner is probably the most structurally unsound part of it, but the further you get to the west, it should be fine.
Since the wall's kind of destroyed a little bit, is this broken side maybe a little bit lower? Does it be able to climb up it?
In fact, this pillar that's leaning up against it, you could just run up it.
Oh. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. You see, Callus takes a mental note of all the enemies on the field. He just does a quick scan, and realizing it would be better to his advantage, he's gonna go up here and at least, I'd say, let's see, 30 feet of movement. I could probably get roughly here. If that's a beam that's kind of like at a fair angle and it's easy to traverse up, unless you want me to do climbing and then I can half that.
Give me an acrobatics check if you want to run up it for less movement cost. Otherwise, it'll be difficult.
Sure thing. That'll be a 13.
That is just enough to get up it.
Okay. And looking around, I see those bigger guys, they're moving off.
Yeah, they seem to be going clockwise around this area. So these guys down below you to the east seem to be like headed in the direction of maybe into the house or in toward the devastation there in the middle of the map. And the ones further on all seem to be shuffling off to the north out of the map up here.
Okay, so not wanting us to get flanked, I'm gonna target this one right in front of me here.
Okay.
With Absolution, so I'll go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay.
And just for fun, because I've never had this feat before, I'm gonna take the sharpshooter.
Sounds good.
What is it, -5 to hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try this out. See if I roll high enough. Probably not. That's like a 9.
A 9 is enough to hit.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
It's a shambling corpse. It's not even trying to dodge.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm so used to like the late end of our last campaign and everything being kind of tough to hit. So,
Zombies are decidedly very easy to hit.
Okay, spaceship damage. Damage on that guy is 5 plus an extra 10 because of sharpshooter, so 15 damage on that guy.
Okay. You plant a crossbow bolt straight into... Where do you want to hit it to kill it?
Straight in the forehead.
Okay. You plant a crossbow bolt straight into its brain pan, and it drops back, eyes rolled back in its head. You can tell that it's like its entire midsection seems to have been ripped or maybe eaten away by something. As the body hits the ground, there is a gurgling noise, and you can see crawling out of the chest cavity into the missing abdomen. One of these other demon creatures, these smaller demon creatures, seems to be crawling out of it.
Well, that's a little unexpected.
Scarf screams again. Pulls more soot over himself.
Given my knowledge, given the fact that I've hunted demons and fiends, Is this a regular thing that I would know from seeing something like this, that it would birth something else?
This isn't regular. I will tell you that the creatures that you're facing are mains, which are one of like the least demons of the abyss.
Oh, okay.
That's why there's so goddamn many of them.
Okay.
But I will give you a religion or arcana check, your choice, to see if you can figure out what's going on with this.
Religion or arcana? Yeah, we'll do religion, I guess.
Okay.
16.
Okay. Mains aren't capable of animating the dead, but apparently something you did not know about them, or perhaps there's some magic at play here. They seem to be inhabiting them and controlling them and getting them to go somewhere. You don't think that these zombies are actually animated. You think they're literally possessed corpses by demons.
Okay.
Which is new to you. The main thing is that these mains are doing this for a reason, and it doesn't seem to be combat. It seems to be to steer them toward somewhere.
Okay.
They're taking these bodies somewhere.
Well, I don't like that, so.
They're hijacking some cars.
So that's one down, about 100 to go.
Yup.
I'll take another shot since I have extra attack. I'll take a shot at the next guy behind him there.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get rid of these corpses.
Utilizing your crossbow expertise, you swiftly reload your crossbow.
Yes.
Which one are you aiming at?
Oh, I forgot to call out the sharpshooter. That's fine. This is like really high to hit. It's like 28.
Oh yeah.
I should have called sharpshooter. Damn it. And damage on that is 12.
Which guy are you hitting?
It was the next guy in line. This guy here.
Okay. Yeah, you plant a crossbow bolt in that guy, and he crumples onto the form of his buddy next to him, and you can see its form undulating, but whatever's inside is trying to crawl out through flesh in the back and through ribs. It will probably take them a while to escape.
Okay. I think that's my action, so I'll just kind of like say something like, they seem to be using the dead for some reason. We should probably take them out as quickly as possible.
Alrighty. Dillard.
Can I use a perception check as a free action?
What is your passive perception?
14.
What would you like to know?
Do my surroundings look anything like the surroundings that I was near before I went through the portal? Does it look like the same urban area?
You are definitely in the city of Aesgarth. You have portaled from across the bridge. Aesgarth has a like upper class section where the nobility and the high wizards and stuff live, across a bridge on a seamount out over off the coast.
Do I recognize the building that's on fire back behind me?
Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely recognize that. You know you're in the city. You know more or less where you're at. All you know is that Scarf knows where you guys are all going, pointed out somewhere to the northwest of you, and then promptly tried to hide under a bunch of burning charcoal and wood. And then some of your companions ran off in that direction. So
I'm going to take one step back, and I'm going to look across at the Dragonborn that's well armored, correct?
Yes.
Good. We have whoever is brought us here has procured the help. The help is here. Dawnfather, please supply these brave warriors that have been sent here to defend me by the divine. And I'm going to use my my peace bond.
okay.
As my action, and I'm going to look across. I'm going to stare at the scruffy goblin that's across. You know that won't do. And I look across at
Rat folk.
Oh, rat folk. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Goblin with more fur. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Something that the rat folk coughed up over there. No. And I finally take it a piece and I look and go, these 3 will do. So I'm going to send it to Sol, Bryn, and Yil because they look the most normal to me.
Okay.
I stand like this, prepared for it, and then I'm like, eh.
Sorry, not all of us can be chosen by the Dawnfather.
You just hear a sigh from Callus.
So everybody who's getting a piece of my bond here acts like blessed. You guys are all getting a extra D4 to your attack roll, ability check, and saving throws
Awesome.
Wait,
for the next 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Wow.
No
Okay.
concentration, bless. No concentration, bless.
How does that go again?
No concentration, bless. I know this area. Matter of fact, I think there's some cobbler pot Model A's inside the building. I need to get them. Here, I will send something in my defense, and I will cast my bonus action spiritual weapon, and I will manifest a Dillard cobbler or a cobbler pot Model A in front of me, and I'm going to run into the burning building.
Okay. Allow myself to... Director, if you could find a proper spiritual weapon for our cleric here, that would be appreciated.
Blue, preferably, like my glacier eyes. Fresh shirt.
Dillard, you rush to the doors. They appear to be slightly ajar, but very obviously there is debris and like pews and such from this temple pushed against the door to try to keep it closed. It does look as if it has been moved ajar enough for perhaps some of these creatures to move inside. In fact, you hear some noises inside.
I immediately run back behind the Dragonborn this time. Never mind. We don't have time to save the procurements. I will send my cobbler pot towards the blob over here.
Okay. You have plenty of range to do that.
I can, let's see here. There we go. I will drag over here. And I will attack with my spiritual weapon.
Sounds good.
Let's go, spiritual weapon. Come on, roll. You got it. You can do it. It's a +8. Come on. All right, I'll just roll this one. Let's go. That's a 20.
Very nice. Nat 20?
No, unnatural
Or
20.
Dirty 20. Okay, yeah. Easily smashes into the main here.
Spiritual weapon damage. 11 points of force damage.
11 points is plenty to end this creature's existence on the prime material plane. How does your spiritual weapon as a it's a model 3000A?
This
Is that what it is?
This is the antique model. So yes, it's
Oh,
the Model
okay.
A, the original, very, very beaten, worn copper bottom to it, but an excellent pot for both stews and hamburger helper.
Excellent. This is, after all, the prototype for all antiques that came, or antique models that came beyond it, and as such is immune to actual physical deforming. But what it is not immune to is punishing force damage onto whatever it hits, which it smashes straight through this thing. How does it end this main?
just a pure squish. And as it raises up and it glows that azure blue, you can see the small etching of the Dawn Father that's on the handle. Just that little sun coming over the horizon lights up with radiant right before it smashes down and just squishes everything. And it remains unstained.
Yes. There is a splatter of demonic goop on the ground. It quickly evaporates into black smoke. However, as the cobbler pot lifts up, there is a burning bit in the shape of that sun symbol that lingers just a bit longer before it finally fades with a shriek.
Sammy Sosa.
All right. Bryn the Broken.
Yeah, so
How's the hangover?
Yeah, not great. I didn't actually describe what is Bryn the Broken there. He's a very haggard and yet heavily armored looking dragonborn who looks on maybe the fifth hour of the worst hangover you could possibly imagine. He's got great like heavy splint mail on, but if it was gleaming and glistening at one point, it had to have been at least 10 years ago. He is glancing around. You mentioned that a lot of these creatures seem to be heading in one direction together, almost like a hive mind.
Yeah, they are sort of following the leader as it were. You have no idea how long this trail is or how far back it goes. They seem to be meandering northward
and
around sort of the devastation area here.
And through this combat so far, doesn't seem like we've attracted their attention in any way, shape, or form.
While all the mains, the demons, turned their attention to you all when you all showed up, and you specifically remember their faces distorting into ones that are all too familiar to you in your nightmares. These shambling corpses of Aesgarth citizens have been completely oblivious to your existence and are just continuing on their merry way.
Okay. I'm going to move northwest here, 30 feet. Let's see, you're right about there. Let's see, this is my first time using Forge. Let's see here. So if I get rid of how do I stop measuring? Select token, that's probably it. And move him over hereabouts. And then noticing to the north that a group of mains.
Why are you leaving? What?
The rat said this way. And
stick with the rat.
Gripping tightly his shield with just a painfully bony looking hand, he gathers a lot of that, or really taking a good look at the field here and seeing a lot of the faces that he knows all too well. He reaches into the darker corners of his mind and pulls together that darkness into casting darkness on the north side of the field here.
Very nice.
A 15-foot sphere that should cover, I think,
sorry, I missed where you clicked it.
To here, I think.
Okay. 5, 10, 15. Yep. Okay. So centered sort of on this point here.
A little bit further. So like right about, let's say here. So it covers, it covers like
gotcha.
All of those tokens on the north there.
Let's see if I can figure out how to draw an AoE. Because I did not do that training course. Max, there is a darkness spell being dropped hereabouts. Alrighty. That area engulfs in darkness. You feel... In your mind, you feel two forces pulling at you. On the one hand, if you don't have to look at these faces, that's usually what you do. You find something else to distract you, and then the memories go away, the nightmares go away. But another thought tugs at your mind, which is maybe if you kill them again, they'll go away forever.
Definitely 2 points, but at the current moment, he's trying to hide them as best as he can.
Mm-hmm. Well, with everybody behind you, nobody can see your face clearly, except for the faces that you know all too well. Alrighty.
That'll end his turn.
All right, so
Oh, I've been looking forward to becoming a lemur in hell for this turn.
yes. Alrighty, so we've got the conga line of zombies are starting to shamble their way about through the rubble. This main is going to scramble over this wall. It more tumbles and rolls like a blob of dough before its limbs sort of catch it, and then with strength that is way too much for something as twiggy as these limbs, comes rushing up to Bryn the Broken, and it flails wildly at you.
Can I use my reaction?
Rolling, you can.
Okay. Sorry, just one moment here. I'm going to basically these spores float around me passively and see anything that might threaten me. And as this creature approaches the party, it becomes hostile and lurches out at this being and attacks it.
Okay.
So it's 6 damage.
What type of damage?
It's necrotic damage. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, the necrotic spores riddle its body and eat away at it, but it still manages to strike out. However, by the time the spores are done with it and its limb manages to strike Bryn the Broken, the thing basically collapses like a house of cards against him. I rolled a natural 1. Completing the work that your spores began.
Nice.
And he just
Worked well.
destroys himself in his rage against Bryn the Broken's massive form. More of these mains start rushing toward you, but they are not very fast. The right one. What happened? There we go. More of these mains begin rushing around looking for things to murder because fresh targets have arisen. This is strange. It keeps selecting the wrong creature. Anyway, but they begin piling in on you all. Oh, I see what it's doing. I keep having one of them selected. The zombies continue their slow meandering. This main here tries to scramble up the roof, and it does actually manage to clamber up onto the roof behind you, Soul. But it is holding on, for lack of a better term, dear life. You suspect that these demons, much like others, don't really have much self-preservation in mind. They are just embodiments of rage and hatred. But it looks keen on ending your life if at all possible, and maybe inhabiting your corpse like its brethren have done to others. It is not able to attack you when it gets close, however, because it has spent all of its movement. The zombies continue their slow meandering as I go through. The numerous, okay, these ones in the darkness, not quite sure what they've done, but you can tell that they are like banging into things and each other. A lot of these guys. Someone cast a fireball already.
Ooh, good
Is there
question.
anybody that can
Have
do
a
that?
fireball.
I did my one AoE. Well, I got one more, but I gotta wait until I start lining things up a little bit better.
Just
right.
have them all walk into the hole, please.
You quickly can tell that it's a good thing that you guys moved the way you did. The mains are starting to shore up against your conga line, but they are just slow enough that you guys might be able to outpace them.
Come on, complete the bingo.
I told you to
point
stay
out the
here and
direction we're
defend
kind of wanting to
me.
go.
Sorry.
Oh, I was asking if Bun could point out the like direction we're trying to go.
There we go.
That
Do you
way.
see that? Way top left. Where all of them are blocking.
Kill him.
Indeed. All right. Sorry for the massive conga line. I was hoping it would be easier to switch through all the initiatives, but here we go. In the distance, you hear a crack of lightning as your arcanist friend engages with the vulture demons somewhere over the horizon of the houses and buildings around here. You see the strobe-like flash, the shrieking of these demons reacting to the damage, and then that cacophony ends. All right, another one of these mains maneuvers through his companions to surround Bryn the Broken to attempt an attack, but flails harmlessly against his armor. As horrifying as these creatures are, they really are kind of the embodiment of pathetic and downtrodden souls that have sunk into the lowest depths of the abyss.
So many of them.
There are so
Right.
many of them. Here, I thought you guys would have AoEs to handle all this.
Yeah, we left our wizard at home.
Alrighty. I don't feel like I'm getting through all of these guys, but it's got to run out eventually. All right. Got some guys on top of each other, it looks like. All right. Let's move the last zombie there. So, round two. You hear in the distance, well, the first thing that happens is my talk. In your mind, you hear, "We're getting closer." And then almost in sync with that, you hear the sound of like just a god-awful crashing noise. It sounds like breaking timber or maybe stone. And glancing off to the south, you see a roof of a building just suddenly shudder and drop. And then a mighty roar echoes across the city. Similar to Yill's blade, you can feel what at first you think might be a heartbeat, and then you realize it is footsteps reverberating through the cobblestones and brickwork of the city. Something big is coming. Scarf.
Okay, Scarf was waiting for his bless and didn't get one, so kind of looks around and notices that the only person left over here is Cobblepot. And he's going to take off running, so he's just going to hold his wrench above him and start running and screaming as fast as he can.
Yes, to the front,
5,
rat, to the front.
10, 15, 20, and then he's going to take the wrench and kind of like start hitting the ground, and I'm going to cast Shatter in a 20-foot sphere, and I'd like to
Okay.
try and get all of the ones that are below me.
All the ones like around this radius here.
Yeah, I think that'll
No
get 1,
problem.
2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 of them.
Yep, 6. Yep.
Okay. And then they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Go ahead and roll me that damage. What's your DC?
It is 15.
Okay. What's your
They're gonna take
damage?
16 damage.
16 damage.
Unless they made their save.
Awesome. What does shatter look like when it hits these? Well, just tell me what your shatter looks like, or sounds like, or feels like.
I mean, at first it just looked like a rat beating on the ground with a wrench, and you're like, that's not going to do anything. But then all of a sudden, just like an electrical like boom goes out from the center of where he was hitting, like.
Okay.
And then you hear him laughing.
Yeah, as the electrical burst happens, you realize that it's not doing lightning damage to these things. It's just all of the particles in the air, all the smoke and flame have been hyper compacted by some explosion that had no sound. And when it hits the flesh of these things, they compact like soft muffins, and just drop, folding up into black mist with nary a shriek or complaint. Yes.
And then I have a bonus action. Nope. No, I don't. Well. Yeah, I'm gonna cast, No, never mind. I'm done, that's my turn. I hide behind, Bryn. I hide behind Bryn.
All right, Yiddle.
Yes, looking around at all of these masses that have surged forward, she nods. Now they're in reach. Runs up to this one, and her blade, held in her right hand, lights with this crackling green blade, also kind of thrumming with energy. Gonna attack this one with a short sword and green flame blade.
Okay.
That is.
Green flame.
Oh, this is not working right. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Kill
That is a 20 to hit
That will definitely hit.
with, let's see.
You can also choose to inflict sneak attack damage since you have an ally near them.
Not on this one. Green flame blade.
Okay.
So it's gonna hit on this one and echo to or jump to the creature to the north. Damage for that. With wait, 0 plus. This isn't working right. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. What's D&D without some technical issues in this day and age?
What was the damage on the primary hit?
Oh god. The total damage, that was 9 piercing damage. 2d8 and 1d8. Okay. And then it'll be 8 thunder damage to the first one I hit. Or sorry, that's the wrong fucking spell. Oh no, this is so bad. Okay. 7 fire damage to the first one and 3 fire damage to the one up north.
Okay. And then how much sword damage?
The sword damage was. Oh, it just said. That was 9. 9 piercing damage.
Okay. So the first one is utterly annihilated. And the second one, what was the total damage? I apologize.
3.
3. Okay. Yeah. So you rip through it with your green flame blade. There's a burst of flames that lick into the north one, minorly singeing it. It seems to relish the pain that you've inflicted on it. Rest of your actions.
Well, I don't like that. So with my offhand, I'm
Smells like waffles all of a sudden.
Oh, I do like that though. I'm gonna attack it with with my offhand short sword and try to finish it off. Hopefully that smell will permeate the air and just, linger a little longer.
Okay.
Let's see. Do the thing. There we go. Just 18 to hit, and
These creatures are incredibly easy to hit. They are roly-poly and not very dexterous.
that is 14 damage total with
Okay.
sneak attack.
It is annihilated. Which blade did you use to kill each?
The first one was Tip, second one was Tat.
Okay.
Always in order.
Tip and Tat doing their job. Any other movement?
She's just gonna stay here near her compatriots.
Okay. My talk.
Yes. Oh my, quite a bit unfolding in front of me. So you said these group of like large zombies over here, they're kind of flooding up this direction, kind of northeast.
Yeah, they're currently in a sphere of darkness, though, and they are shambling around and not aware of what they're doing.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna cast Spike Growth. 1 second.
Yeah.
Let me kind of draw where I want it really quickly. Where are the different templates? Oh, there we go. So I kind of want to overlap with darkness, so they kind of shamble into the spikes. Oh, shit.
Okay.
How do I delete that one there? Let's see.
What's the radius on it?
It's 20 feet, I think, isn't it?
Is it a square or a...
1 second here. 20-foot radius centered on a point. So,
Okay.
let me retry that one more time. Okay, so there's spike growth, and uh-oh. Did it roll? There it is. Cool. It's in Foundry.
Okay. All right. What does it look like when the area here erupts with spikes from your druidic
Essentially,
powers?
the area just a bunch of withered trees that are kind of like dead, rotting trees spike up from the ground all over, and they're essentially coated in like a muck and goo, and the air is kind of just arid with a pungent smell. It's kind of like swamp kind of growth and swamp woods that have kind of worn down and become very spiky and dangerous.
Okay. But yeah, the charred wood and everything starts to reform and twist. The rocks seem to crack open as new growth sort of emerges up into thick brambly thorns that coat the ground. Alrighty. All of you can see that except for maybe Dillard. No, you'd be able to see it. It's on both sides of the wall. Yeah, you see the ground is suddenly very hostile.
Disgusting.
Alrighty.
And sorry, I just want to double check this works the way I'm thinking here. Okay, no, that's it. I'll end my turn. Go ahead.
All right. Soul Callus.
Yes. So okay. The guy's right next to me, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Or he's underneath me, or
He's clambering up the beam that you clambered up, although much less gracefully.
okay. Callus sees this and says, this is a waste of my time. And he's gonna use his racial trait to teleport 30 feet toward our Cobblepot friend. He's gonna park himself, or sorry, it's 25 feet to there. If my character decides to go.
There you go.
And you just see him kind of almost turn ghostly translucent, and then he disappears from the rooftop right in front of you, and says, we might not want to get left behind. And then actually I'm going to take a couple shots at some of these little turds over yonder.
Yes, you're right where you need to be, in between me and the zombies.
Yeah, well,
What does it
I don't
look
think
like
I'm going to
when
protect
you,
you this entire time.
when you misty step? What does it look like?
Oh, he almost turns a little ghostly looking, sort of grayish white, translucent, almost smoky, and then vanishes and appears. And with the racial trait, I have resistance for until my next turn to all damage. And
Very nice.
This looks like sort of almost ghostly smoke just kind of coming off of his armor.
Cool.
So as my action, I'm going to take a shot at this guy, I think, over here. With my crossbow.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I'm going to call sharpshooter on this one. Hopefully we get it. Let's see. No, that's a natural one.
Alrighty.
Yeah, pretty good.
You realize as you had misty stepped, the crossbow quarrel that was loaded into your crossbow did not make the journey with you, and you glance up as you after you pull the trigger and see the crossbow quarrel just sort of floating in the air, and it drops onto the ceiling and rolls down this beam, landing at the base of the building.
Damn it! I gotta figure that one out. Is this guy here? Is this an enemy?
He is.
Okay, I'll train my crossbow on that guy and take my next shot.
Okay.
Again, I'm gonna try to sharpshooter this. I'm gonna keep doing this because the damage is worth it.
Okay.
If I can hit. And it should hit. That's a 28 minus 5, so...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It works way better when you have a crossbow loaded.
Yes, it does. Damage on that is 12 plus an extra 10, so that's 22 damage on that guy.
You overkill that guy into so far negative that you are not sure he ever existed.
Hey, that's,
In fact, I'm going to say...
why they call me the magician.
It also hits this zombie. It goes straight through him and hits this zombie, killing it as well.
Oh, sweet. Very good. I think that's all I'm gonna do on this turn.
Okay.
Yep.
You still have movement, but if you want to hold there to defend Cobbler Pot, you are more than
I'll
welcome.
hold there and be between these guys down here.
Sounds good. All right, Dillard.
Yes, we will thin the herd! Thin the herd! And I will move with my bonus action, my Model A, over here to this zombie. And I'm gonna give a swing.
Okay.
The Model A.
Yes, take that, you foul fiend! Okay, it's a 12, but then I got my 1d4. Come on, baby. $15.
15 easily strikes this former Aesgarth citizen's corpse.
10 points of damage.
10 points. Yeah, you clock it upside the head. Unlike normal zombies, these things are much more frail. They are not animated by necrotic magics that are making them tougher than your average bear. They are simply walking corpses, and with a loud crack, you hear its head separate from its neck, but the flesh keeps it on, and it lolls to the side and then collapses. Somewhere inside of it, you can see hands pushing on the inside of the flesh to get out.
Oh, yes, more, Dawnfather, please give us more blessings. To you, I give all the praise and animal tidings. And I will use Word of Radiance on the blob in front of me as my action.
Very nice.
They will have to make DC 16 con save.
Okay. Is Word of Radiance an AoE spell based off of you, or is it a drop somewhere?
Cantrip, single
field?
target.
Okay. Trying to remember which one it is. So I did not succeed on that save.
7 points of radiant damage.
Okay, it sears into it heavily, and it is still standing, though. Heavily wounded. It looks to you, unlike the target of Yill's Green Flame Blade, it looks to you from the radiant damage with absolute disgust and hatred. It did not have pleasure from that. And it seems like it may want to take revenge on you.
Looks like you go to the peasants' church. And
Get off.
Are we going? We're going farther north. Is this what we're doing? Phil, is that your name?
I believe so.
You just hear Scarf yell, "Dar! Dar! Dar! Dar!"
I have no idea how I knew your name. I think it was a name tag that I saw down at the bottom. But are we headed north? Is that the way we're going?
Looks like it.
Okay, then I am taking 2 steps this way.
All right. End of your turn.
End of my turn.
Excellent. Bryn the Broken.
Yeah, so Bryn hears Cobblepot in the back trying to figure out where to go. He takes his warhammer and just points towards the door in the top, northwest side there, and starts walking over, seeing this new spooky ground in front of him. He's gonna kind of weave his way around the outside of that.
Sounds good.
And he's going to end up about, I think it was here.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing any level of
Yep.
attacks of opportunity,
There are
fine by him.
Two departing swings on you. What is your current armor class?
19.
So the first one leaps at you. You easily bash it aside with your shield, no problem. But it does open up the underside of your left arm as you knock that guy out of the way, and one of them just darts up with alarming alacrity and just jabs its fingers, which aren't particularly dangerous looking, but it jams its fingers up under your armpit's armor, and it reaches through and just grabs onto as much flesh as it can and starts pulling.
All right.
You are going to take 6 mighty points of slashing damage from this thing's wretched claws. Most of the damage actually comes as you move away from it. You didn't even realize that it had gotten a hold of you. And you managed to drag him a little bit along for the way. Scarf, if you would like to make an opportunity attack on that one, you are more than welcome.
Yeah. Does an opportunity attack have to be like a regular attack, or can it be a cantrip? It has to be regular, right?
Do you have
As long
Warcaster?
as it's
No, that's right. That's the one to do it. Okay, so I can shoot him with my light crossbow then. I'll just do that. No, it has to be melee?
Yeah, melee.
I'm
Unless you
gonna
have the
bonk
Warcaster
him with my hammer.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Nope. 6?
6 is not enough.
Nope.
As you swing at this creature, it just gets pulled way too fast by Bryn the Broken, who just strides easily out of range, yanking this thing along with him, and your swing goes wide.
Yeah.
Bryn, what's the rest of your turn?
So landing about here, he's going to take a big, deep breath, just sort of swishing around the whatever was left in his mouth from last night's debauchery, and takes one big shot of brass dragon fire breath in a line of 30 feet, hitting this one, and this one here.
Very nice. Is this a dexterity save?
Yeah, that'll be a Dex DC of 13.
It is highly unlikely that any of these guys are going to make that. And I was correct. In fact, one of them got a natural 1.
Burn! Burn!
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Wow, that was not great. But I rolled, so 3d6, total of 5 damage. 5 fire
5 is
damage.
enough because your average commoner only has 4 hit points, and these are
Okay.
just undead commoners. They all go up like Roman candles and sort of stumble around and then expire horribly in greasy pools of their own melted flesh.
Afterwards, Bryn just points his hammer forward, trying to indicate, aiming towards the corner of that wall of this broken building here.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Right on through.
So, with that, I am going to take care of business rapid fashion. The zombies here literally cheese grate themselves to death on.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Very
Who
nice.
needs
They
fireball?
stumble. They walk. Their flesh rips off their feet. They stumble. They fall. They keep crawling, and then eventually just expire. These zombies up here wander out of the darkness eventually. These zombies wander mindlessly into the cheese grater and expire, leaving a handful of mains left, who start to rush in your guys' direction. These ones think better of it. No, for a moment they do, but then their rage overtakes them. There's no way they can't take enough damage not to kill themselves. This one leaps out of the spikes to attack Scarf, only hitting AC 6.
Nope.
This one continues to pursue Bryn, AC 6 as well. One holds its ground, miss. Go ahead and give me a damage roll for the spike growth real quick.
It's 4.
4. He takes a
And
little bit of
that's,
damage.
every 5 feet.
Yeah, he only moved 5 feet, so he shreds himself up pretty badly, but then takes a swing at Bryn. There are 3 total that have moved up on Bryn. I'm going to hit with 2 of them, actually. The one that
Wow.
got shredded up did not hit you, but the ones behind you take their toll on you, doing 5 and 4 slashing damage, respectively.
To one of them, I'm going to take a reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Excellent.
Let's see here. So that will be at first level. So that'll be Dex save of 13, I believe.
Okay. That is a absolute failure.
In which case they take 5 plus
this
9. 14 points of
14 is
necrotic.
enough. All right, it incinerates in hellfire.
Fire damage. Yeah,
Hellish Rebuke.
that makes sense.
Yep. Its smoke is replaced by demon smoke. And then it is no more. The rest of these look like they are about to surge towards Soul Callus and perhaps past him to Dillard when Dillard, you have a slightly better angle, yet are shorter than Soul. Soul, you see what you think at first might be a cloud sort of blocking like the moon out a little bit, and then you realize, no, that's way too close to be a cloud. And then this building here, this entire building shudders. The masonry splits between the first and second floor, and the entire thing collapses as a creature just walks into the building as if it didn't even exist. Basically wading like through a kiddie pool into this building up to its chest is perhaps the largest demon you've ever seen. And it doesn't even really seem particularly aware of your presence. Let me just drop down.
Where
Big
was this
G.
at? Sorry. Oh, there. Okay.
Right there.
Holy.
This thing is roughly
Time to go.
28 feet tall Its hands could probably pick you up like a G.I. Joe action figure and crush you. And it's just sort of wading through the building. It sees all the fire and its huge horns. It sort of like looks around, and then its gaze kind of comes down to the conflagration and the swirl of bodies down here. My talk, you hear in your mind, we're getting close.
If that's closer, then I don't want to be anywhere near here.
Yeah, it looks down. It looks directly at my talk.
Oh, shit.
And then whips its head and looks at Soul Callus, and Soul, in your mind, it says,
Soul Callus, come to me.
and it just pushes the side of the building out of the way and looks like it's getting ready to come and find you and pick you up. Maybe put you in its mouth. At that, all of these demons run the fuck away. They don't want any part of this guy. And these guys over here skedaddle off the board. Alrighty. Let's see. We are at the top of the round. Scarf.
Okay. Scarf is gonna run 5, 10. I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out a big boom boom time and pull out a little ball of scrap metal contraption, and I'm gonna throw a bomb to try to hit like these three in front of me, like the three, like hit the middle one and the two next to it, hopefully.
Okay.
And let's see. So I'm gonna do one charge of that. That will be the first one.
Is this a 5-foot radius, or are you strapping 2 sticks of boom boom?
Oh yeah. I can do 2 sticks.
You can bind them together. You can add extra charges to strap more
Oh
dynamite
heck
together.
yeah! Let's do 2 charges.
Okay, that does increase the size of the explosion too, by the way.
I don't want to hit. Dragon guy, duck. And then I'm gonna throw. Just 1 charge is probably fine. Then we'll just do 1 to try and hit 2 of them.
Okay. What's the DC?
The 2 lower ones. The DC is 12. Dex.
All right, they both succeed miraculously,
Oh, those jerks.
but I still believe they take half damage.
Yeah.
Oh god,
so
the
they're
rat
gonna
has
take-
explosives.
It does.
Oh yeah, I wish I'd read that better. Okay, well they'll take 4 damage. Or sorry, 2 damage.
Okay.
That's not very much.
Yeah. You throw a
Should've
little
done
a little stick at him that's burning, and then I think it does a little bit more than that. I'm gonna
Oh,
check it. I think it's base 3d6, and then you add a d6 for each stick you add.
oh yes, you are correct. So
Mhm.
there'll be 3 more damage
Okay,
once it's halved. So I halved it for you.
gotcha. Alrighty, so a loud kerpop goes off. Your warning shouted out to brain fart.
Bryn.
Bryn, thank you. I was like, surely it's not the name of one of the characters from campaign 1.
Whoops.
I love it.
Yeah, the warning shouted out to them. They catch on to that. They duck as well. The explosion goes off, sending more debris than demon flying. Anything else?
Oops. And then I'm gonna cast Expeditious Retreat, and I'm gonna start running for the door.
Okay.
So that was 5, 10, 15. Can I go through them? Can I push through them? Forget how that works. I have to go around.
Yeah.
20, 25, and then dashes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so I'll get over there, and they can take opportunity attacks. That's fine.
Okay. Which way did you go around to the south?
Yeah, I didn't go in the middle of that nonsense up there. I
Okay.
saw what happens.
I'm
a little
One of
guy.
them gets a swing and fails to hit you. It's infantile and weak. Alrighty. Yill.
So can we all see that giant fucking thing, or is it
Oh,
only
yeah.
part of the wall is broken? Okay,
Oh yeah,
she's
you
gonna
can
look
hear
at
it
that.
too.
God, she's gonna
Yeah.
look at that in panic. And
Run.
gonna look around. Oh, we're not fighting that thing, right?
I mean, you saw Scarf. He's running. He's running.
Not my plan.
So she's gonna immediately see this guy's in her way. She's gonna swing at him. The green flame still licking off her blade.
Green flame.
That is a 17 to hit
Definitely a hit.
with 8. Then so 13 damage.
Easily delete that one.
All right, we're gonna keep going.
Barely an inconvenience.
20. All right, gonna walk up to this one. Offhand attack. Same thing.
You're
bold of you
going
to-
closer to the demon.
That's what I was about to say. How bold of you to move closer.
The door too. And sneak attack wherever the heck. There it is. So that will be 11 plus 8, 19.
Good lord.
Yep.
Yes,
And
you
then
are-
she's gonna keep schmoving.
These creatures are beneath you.
That is
End of your turn?
all my movement, I believe.
Alrighty. My talk.
I am going to. Does it take an action to drop concentration?
Nope. You can do it at any moment.
Okay. I see this demon and realize that he looked right at me, and am kind of jumping out of my jelly at the moment. So I'm very, very nervous, and I speak to the voice in my head and say, "We're getting the hell out of here." And I basically drop concentration on that spell. Let's see, how do I get rid of that? Oh, thank you, Max. And I'm gonna dash and get up to here, actually. So let's see. It was right there.
All right. Huzzah.
And that'll end my turn.
All right. Soul.
Quick.
You know, without even having to roll, this is a Garistro. It is basically the embodiment of destruction from the abyss.
Yes. Quick question. Where are we trying to get to right now?
Up here to this doorway.
That doorway.
In the upper
Okay.
left.
Far away from the demon.
Soul looks over to the Greastro and says, you and I got a date for later, but something else more important is happening. So he's gonna do his movement, which is 30 feet. I don't know if I counted that right, but somewhere right there. And he's also gonna dash. So that's
Sounds
another.
Did you
And
speak
they
to the demon in common or in a different language?
It was more of a more mentally, I guess. Since the demon's
Okay,
like
so you
in
didn't
my
say it at all.
it's in my mind since the demon's
Got
in
it.
my head.
Got
I
it.
know it can hear me. I think.
Wait, when mitochondria speaks to his head thing, do we hear that too? Or no? No? Okay,
it's
okay,
in my
okay.
head.
You're all just having your secret head conversations over there. I see how it is.
It did speak in my mind, right?
It did speak in your mind.
Okay. So
It
Soul's
looked right
ki-
at you when it did it, though. And then you
Yeah,
heard it
Soul's
in
kind
your
of just assuming that he's tuned into my brain.
Yeah, you
Uh,
know
speaking in
many
his brain,
many
too.
demons. Most
Yeah.
demons
So
are
there.
telepathic, so
So yeah, dashing, I think I can get to there or something like that.
sounds good. Abandoning poor Dillard cobbler pot.
Want to see this?
No,
reaction.
no, you're moving too fast. Your long legs. Go. Immediate regret and prepared spell list. Immediate regret. Lack of movement. Total lack of movement in this list. Oh, I will also dash with my small feet. Get out of here. I want to take the path that's not going to cause me any kind of environmental damage. So
No, it's all for flavor. It's the
Okay, it's all
immediate
for flavor?
aftermath of the fireball, and it has cooled down such that
so I can dance across the black mist, you say?
you can.
All right, let's see here. What do my little feet take me? 50 feet on a dash? Let's do this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And
I'm
then
gonna
I
give
will
you
take...
one extra square because you did a lateral and then an up when you could have done a diagonal. So
Well, thank you, benevolent DM.
yes.
Was there no difficult terrain there?
It's dark.
Yeah, it's the darkness.
Oh, I meant
but
like the
there-
crumbled
yeah.
walls and stuff.
Yeah, I think this combat has taken long enough that I don't
Or-
want to slow you down more than I already have.
Our fear of demon has surpassed
Yeah.
difficult terrain.
Everybody's mobile.
What was formerly a difficult wall,
thing.
what was formerly a difficult terrain wall has since settled from the Garistro's footsteps.
I'm an expert climber. Don't question me. What? Don't hold me back.
No, I wanted to go there and I thought I couldn't. That's why I'm asking.
It was difficult terrain last round when you were going.
It was,
So,
yeah, it was.
It was all
Since you were
spiked.
gone.
Bear
All
with
right. Foul demon. I will use my Model A on this lump of
Sounds good.
demonic crap here. Take that! 21 without my bless.
Crush. I do not think you can do
6
minimal
points of full
damage.
damage.
Yeah, there's no way you can't kill it. So it stumbles back to its feet from the detonation of the sticks of boom boom, 100% military grade ram crown boom boom, and then gets cracked across the face by a celestial cooking pot.
Lifetime guaranteed celestial cobbler pot. That would be the end of my turn. The rest of you, you're slow. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, Bryn.
Yeah. So he's going to first take a shot at the creature just immediately to his north there.
Okay, the wounded
Try to get him
one.
out of the way with his warhammer. He's going to roll.
Like a
let's see
warhammer.
here. I'm going to use. I can use that bless to get an extra G4 on that, right? Is that
I
right?
believe so.
Okay. Hey,
Peace
that
be
helps
with
a lot.
you.
That's gonna be a 17 to hit.
Oh, that will 100% scythe through the marshmallow-like flesh of these poor, pathetic souls.
All right. That's going to be 10 damage.
Obliterated.
All right, and then he's going to take a bonus action to use his shield to do a shield master shove on the other one.
Very nice.
Yes.
And push it back 5 feet diagonally away from him.
Okay.
Nice.
I believe it's an opposed athletics. I got a miserable 3.
Let's roll. I got a 19, just natural.
Okay, you shove him so hard, I'm going to say he goes 10 feet back as he stumbles and then rolls and slides down the settling rubble.
All right, and then I'm just going to move my full distance of movement, which would land me about here.
Okay. Comedically, the mains are running in the same direction you guys are, but have no intention of sticking around to fight. One of them runs past Yill. Go ahead and make an opportunity attack if you would like.
Absolutely.
Get him.
Thank you. That is 24 to hit with 8 damage.
Oh god. Yeah. Annihilated. You end its misery. Like, you know that it would not have been able to get away from this huge demon, so you just put it out of its misery. But then the Garistro moves, and it shuffles through the wall knee deep. It has to step over the wall. It just clambers. It seems to be on a
Garistro
beeline
shuffle.
toward Soul.
Mm.
And it gets to about here, looks down at Yill,
Oh.
and looks like it's going to reach down to crush you, and then it stops, and it seems to like look off into the distance, and then it keeps walking past you.
Hmm?
Oh my god.
Its foot like lands right next to you, just crunch. Out like now, all of you can hear in your mind. All I want is Soul.
Oh. Oh boy. Huh?
Gosh,
Number
we have
five.
any homies too.
I wonder why.
I look back at Soul. What have you done?
Start of the round. Would you all like to GTFO?
He's here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So I
one
think
shot.
we
I'm down to
can-
fight too. I'm open to whatever, but I feel like we should run. Let's go.
I would
Yeah.
probably
hung.
keep moving if I were you.
Let's see, 5, 10, 20. So I can get to here, but then I've still got my expeditious retreat on, so I'm gonna keep running. But sorry, before I did that, I just wanted to see where I could get to. Before I did that, I am gonna panic throw a bomb at the big guy.
Okay.
Uh
So what I'm
just
hearing is you want to get his attention.
yeah.
Okay.
Scarf spraying doesn't work like that, so he's gonna throw a bomb. He's just gonna yell, "Ah, ugly!" and throw a doubled charge
Okay.
of the one that will stun him. Maybe. Stun grenade. The 12 DC.
It failed.
Okay.
I rolled a
Okay,
2
all
on
right.
the die. Yeah.
Okay.
That
so
helps.
he's
You
gonna
yell,
take,
hey, ugly, and it glances in your direction as the bomb just hits it right between the eyes.
oh, I guess I can't double this one anyways, but he will get stunned. So he's gonna take 5 whole bludgeoning damage. And then he's stunned until the end of his next turn. and Scarf's actually that's what he yells. And then I'm gonna use the rest of my bonus action to run inside the door.
Okay.
Where he can't see me.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna keep running as far as I can inside, so
All right.
it's another 20
So
feet.
the Garistro is stunned for the turn, unless anybody wants to do anything exceptionally brave. You can all easily get to the doorway this turn.
I'm thinking the consensus is run from what I
Yeah.
heard before, but I'm open to discussion.
Bryn's not even looking back. He's already in the, in the
mean-
tunnel.
I mean, Scarf's long gone, so if you're fighting, you're
Okay.
fighting without Scarf.
We have advantage on it right now, correct?
Scarf is gone. I'm
I'm
not
just
coming
looking out
back
for
his
for
own
you.
back.
You have advantage on it.
I'm just saying, those of us who are ranged inclined, before we leave. I guess we can all move. It's fine.
No, hit it.
To
Shoot
then
it,
we think we're
shoot
gonna face
it,
it again.
run.
Just here, so it's like, get moving through the door. But I got one for him, and I'm gonna unleash a crossbow bolt at it.
Heck
Sounds
yeah.
good.
While everybody else is, I want to make sure everybody else gets to the door first, and this will be like the last thing I do before I join them.
Okay.
So, just go ahead and roll for a hit. Let's see. That's sorry. No, I didn't call it before. My bad.
Okay.
That's
Just make a blanket statement that I'm always shooting at sharpshooter, and
I
then you're
should,
covered.
shouldn't I? Yeah,
You did,
I should.
actually.
For the rest of the
Yeah.
evening.
This is why one shots are hard because you're learning your character still.
That's a lot to hit. It's 28 to hit.
28.
Not counting
That
the
will-
blast.
That will hit it.
Damage. Here we go. That's 13 damage
Okay.
on that hit, and I'll go ahead and do my extra attack before I go running through the door, and I will do sharpshooter on this one. Probably not gonna hit now. Oh no, it'll probably hit. 27 minus 5.
23. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Okay. Damage. 12 plus 10, 22 damage on that shot.
Okay.
And I'm going to go bolting through the door behind everybody else.
All right. 2 telling strikes. However, against this thing, they look like someone throwing toothpicks into a sweater. They strike into its flesh, digging deep, and it grunts from each hit.
I'm
And
gone.
then in your minds, just cackles. A sporting game.
All right.
Alrighty.
That was fun.
So, I'm just going to hyper accelerate stuff because we are getting up there in time, and everyone skedaddles here. The stun prevents the Greastra from pursuing you, and it loses sight of you as you race off. It rampages through the square as you escape down some back alleys and into the cellar of the Grey Jug Inn. And we can leave the map now and go back to our players' friendly faces. As the door to the Grey Jug Inn slams beside you or behind you, you catch your breaths and look to the door to the I think I said the cellar. It's been a long day. You scramble down the stairs to the cellar, following Scarf.
Scarf. It's easy to
and-
follow because he's still yelling.
Snarf, snarf.
And in the back of the cellar, there is a singular rack of empty wine bottles that is stacked up in such a way that it looks like it would be precarious to move it, but with subtle motions, it easily swings on a hinge. The bottles don't even jostle. It seems as if they have been glued together in a way to prevent them from breaking. And you find a secret entrance that leads into the sewers, the smell of which hits you almost immediately upon the seal to the secret door being breached. And you descend in.
Excuse
Scarf
me.
takes a. Oh.
Excuse me. Who intends on carrying me? Anyone?
Silence.
Oh, you don't expect me to walk down there, do you?
Scarf looks at you and then keeps running.
I
don't
didn't
remember
ask
being
the right-
blessed.
Also, when we hop in the sewers, Scarf kind of inhales like, home sweet home.
It smells like home for sure, but there's also something else that Scarf smells on the wind down here. Smells like death.
Someone made stinky. Oh no.
It smells like
That's
blood,
stinky.
and it smells like meat.
That's
And as you
stinky.
look down into the water, you realize that the smell is coming from that. It's not just sewage down here. It's not just water. The blood of Aesgarth has literally clogged the drains and flooded down in here like an oil slick on water and is mixing and making its way down.
Bryn pukes
Good
up whatever's
news,
left.
property will be cheap.
Nice echo effect there. Alrighty, and with a brief respite, you can hear the stomping of the Garistro above, shuddering the bones of the city around you as it searches for Soul Callus, as it hunts for that which it seeks most in this world. And I think with there, we will take a break and come back shortly.
Yeah, time to stretch your legs, everybody. We won't be gone long, so go get a snack and make sure you come back because we will be back shortly. Go get some snacks, everyone.
Find out what's going wrong with Soul.
Hey, hello, welcome back. We're just picking back up from our break, so I don't know, what does Max usually say this part? Back into the terror and death. Let's go.
Let's dive back
Whee!
into the sewers filled with blood.
The blood and muck.
Yeah. After narrowly escaping the pursuit of a demon larger than most buildings in a city, the party has found themselves in the sewers. And at this point, they have a moment to sort of collect their thoughts, go over what their plan is. And Maidoc, you're sort of the clutch person here. Before you came into the refugee camp on the Seamount at the north end of Aesgarth, nobody had any clue what was happening or where to go, but you had a vision earlier that day that you had been puzzling in your mind along with your friend who lives in there with you, about what it could mean. And there was a person that you had heard about that you knew was key, that had something important to tell you, whose name was Madame Winza, a fortune teller, elderly woman who read fortunes for coppers and silvers in various sectors of the city. There was something of grave importance that she needed to tell you, but it was like a splinter in your mind. And then everything went to hell as the sun dipped below the horizon, and it became very clear to you that she must have information necessary to deal with this. When you got to the refugee camp and shared this with the powers that be, you came up with a plan to find Madame Winza, because her location could not be divined magically. Details of your visions included a description that matched something very familiar to Bryn the Broken, a place he had not been in years. The inner sanctum of the Thieves Guild. There was an individual in there who you know to be the head of the collective in Aesgarth. The collective being that self-same Thieves Guild. A man who goes by the name of Johnny Five Knives. And from that information, you determined that must be where Winza is being is hiding. But you had always been brought to that Thieves Guild under blindfold. You did not know the way. But Scarf had information through the tunnels and smuggling, or through the sewers and the smuggling tunnels, of how to get there. And that is the path that you find yourselves on now.
Legitimate business tunnels.
And in hushed voices, you make your way slowly through the sewers, hearing screams and groans of things moving down here. But you find time to gather information about one another and share a bit of who knows who and why they might think that this is a good use of their Fire's Day night.
So I thought you got into trouble with mushrooms, but this is ridiculous. What does this guy want with you?
What was that thing?
We all heard it.
The Garistro. Well, let's just say I might have slew a few of its brothers in the past.
Few? And that warranted that reaction?
Why not?
I've never seen anything like it.
Sort of my job. Hunter, demon slayer. I've made quite a career of it over the decades. I believe this has something to do with it as well. And you see on his forehead is like an X-shaped scar. This is a mark. The first demon I ever encountered left it on me. Since then, every single one I've come across has been able to know my name. Strange, isn't it?
Sucks to be you.
Wow. Doesn't bother me any. They come to me, that's more kills.
I'll tell you the same thing now that I told you the last time we worked together. I am so very surprised you're still alive.
Discipline. Training.
Hell of a lot of luck.
Maybe.
And a lot of mushrooms.
I've only bought a few from you. You can relax. So, might I make a suggestion? With the rat's help and the power of my crossbow, I could lead us through these tunnels and keep us safe from whatever's coming. Just a quick clarification on the crossbow. The detect good and evil, is that when I activate it, is there a time limit on that?
Yeah, it's as the spell. Which
I'm not
lasts about
familiar
10
with the
minutes.
spell. 10 minutes? Okay.
Let me double check. Carry on.
So, are you a
10 minutes.
man of faith?
Me? No, not really. I tend to rely on my own skill more than anything. It's kept me alive this far.
I was afraid of that.
And what of you, salesman? Are you really a man of faith, or are you some sort of charlatan?
Clutches his amulet of the Dawn Father, that's large, protruding sun that's in the front. Dawn Father is the only thing that will save us out here. Eternal damnation. There are things that are worse than death, soul. And what I heard in my head, if I had strong enough magic, I would try to purge it from you. But I can only offer gifts. So please accept this. He's gonna extend his gnomish hand out to you.
Okay. He just kind of stands there, eyeing you to see what you're doing.
Do you accept what he tries to pass to you?
I don't know what he's passing to me. Are you passing me the amulet?
No, it's something that's in his hand.
So cautiously holds out the palm of his hand.
Deposits something thin that's there, and he clasps it.
Okay.
You look like just the person who needs this.
Is it the handle of a pot?
It's not. It's a small piece of paper.
Is it a coupon?
Look at it. It is a coupon. It's 10% off. If you flip it over on the back side, it's Daily Hymn, and it has a mark of the All-Father on the back.
Saul
It
just...
has hashtag bless written down on the very bottom. And as you accept this, I cast Warding Bond through this touch. This lasts an hour. As long as you're within 60 feet of me, you have a +1 bonus to your AC saving throws, and you have resistance to all damage. However,
Very nice.
each time you take damage, I take the same amount of damage.
Oh.
Martyr me,
Okay.
daddy.
All right.
Friends into battle.
Saul kind of just eyes the coupon, slightly confused, and then looks at the halfling, right?
No.
No. Looks at the gnome in front of him. Thanks, I guess.
It doesn't have an expiration date.
I'll keep that in mind.
The other thing's an hour, but the coupon, the 10% off is good whenever we get out of here.
I'll keep it in mind.
May the All-Father bless you.
He just kind of smiles slightly. Okay.
that thing out of my fucking head too. If you could, please. I've prepared myself for a lifetime, but I don't know how it's penetrating my helmet. Most things can't.
Could it be just a pot?
It's not just a pot. It's a lifestyle, so
A lifestyle. Okay.
fine cookware last a lifetime.
There's
To
something.
interrupt for a moment.
Go for it.
Remember, we were looking for Madam Windsor. Do any of you know where we may locate her, or where she might be in the city?
Adam.
I know. Scarf knows.
Yeah, you know where the Thieves Guild is.
Yeah. Less talking, more sloshing.
And Scarf starts sloshing down the sewers, leading the way.
What do we want to do with someone who sells contraband and knives? But
Hey.
I look at you, and then I look back over to my talk.
You owe me money. You owe Scarf money.
And I turn around and keep sloshing.
you old snarf.
He sold me a piece of worthless drivel.
Not with us.
You hear from way down the sewers.
He'll
Well, if
follow
it isn't
him.
worthless, then it should work.
You just don't know how to use it.
The echoes of your voices grow a little bit as the conversation stretches through the party that is proceeding and lingering. And a silence comes across your group as you hear sloshing up ahead.
Oh, like not me sloshing, like other sloshing.
Ahead of Scarf.
Extra
yes.
sloshing.
Yeah. It
Scarf just
sounds-
freezes, like
You freeze.
Signals.
You see lingering in the distance more and more figures slowly meandering their way through the sewers. It looks like another entourage of Aesgarth's dead shambling their way down here. If they're true to form with how they were up on the streets, they should ignore you. But are you willing to take that chance?
He'll goes shh, and kind of flattens herself against the wall of the sewer and continues like sliding along.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sneaky. And I like do my best to mimic exactly what she did.
Okay. Yeah, they turn and come down the hallway you guys are all moving, and sandwiched against the walls, you see dozens of Aesgarth's dead shamble past you in various states of disrepair. Wounds inflicted by horrible beasts, more deadly than the mains that you fought. But many of them crushed by their fellow Aesgarthians trying to escape wherever they were holed up, or in the throng of people fleeing from the city to somewhere safer. None of them even look in your directions as they move past you. Most disturbing of all, however, some of the bodies appear to have been completely disrobed, not of their clothing necessarily, although that is certainly missing. Their flesh has been completely removed. A curiosity, perhaps, to be explored another time.
Girls.
Just keep moving.
That's just
As-
a saving throw for me. That's a nat one.
Oh dear. The sick does little to abate the smell of blood and other awful smells down here, both spellings of the word awful. But the dead keep marching past you, completely oblivious to your companion Dillard's ill gut.
That one smells like burnt hair.
Hey,
And by the time he is done letting his spittle evacuate his mouth, the dead have shambled off. and the sewers grow quiet once more.
Deal
Oh,
yourself
oh,